is finally here. Red Dead Redemption 2 has finally launched, and I'm here to give you 7 quick tips on things that you should know before starting the game if you haven't already. One of the brand new features in Red Dead Redemption 2 is that you have to keep your guns and your horse clean, because if you don't, they will suffer from it. Now with your horse, if you keep it too dirty and you don't clean it enough, that will mean that your horse will start degrading its course 25% faster as well. So it's very much worth the effort of making sure your horse is nice and clean. This doesn't take a lot of effort. All you have to do is just, give it a brush whenever your horse is dirty. Don't try to look for the brush in the beginning of the game. This is something that you unlock as you play through the game. So don't worry if your horse is dirty when you're just starting out playing the game, because after a few hours into the game you will unlock the brush, which will allow you to clean your horse at all times, making sure that it won't degrade its course as fast as it should be. When it comes to guns, however, that's actually pretty easy to maintain as well. All you want to do is just basically be stocked up on gun oil, which you can find at a gunsmith, and then every once in a while you can just check how your guns are doing. You can quickly see a little bar at the bottom of your gun. If you've been using your gun a lot, it's definitely worth checking out how well your gun is still doing, and all you want to do then is just click the right stick, and then you'll be able to use some gun oil to clean it again, and it will be back in its former glory, having all the damage and range that it should have as well. Because if you don't, your weapon will have much less damage and range because the weapon is too dirty. Another thing about your horse is that what you want to make sure to do is to buy revive potions at the general store as soon as you can, because there's always danger around the corner. Literally, it can happen out of nowhere. Suddenly your horse gets shot to bits and you're gonna have to either run to the nearest town to get one, or be prepared and have a revive potion ready for your horse to be coming back to life, and also making sure that you can get from point A to B without too much hassle. Sticking a bit to the horse subject is that you have to choose your weapons carefully. Whether you're going to rob a train or stealth kill some unwanted individuals, you have to make sure that you have a weapon for every situation. Your revolver doesn't have a lot of range, but your repeater does. And also for hunting, use a bow, or else it will degrade the quality of the meat, and it makes it also less valuable. So obviously that means that before you head out to a situation, make sure that you have a repeater and also a revolver with you, and maybe even a bow if you want to be a little bit more stealthy. Also make sure that you have a look through the settings before you actually start taking the game so much serious. There's a lot of options for you to go through, and especially the aim settings is something that I would encourage you to give it a try. By default, the game is set on assisted aim, but I would encourage you to try out free aim or narrow aim setting, because Rockstar has definitely done a great job with making the aim feel a lot more smooth than it was in GTA 5. And while you're there, make sure to scroll through the control options and also see the accessibility tab, so you can change your running mode to toggle instead of constantly having to tap the run button. I'm sure your thumbs will thank you. Doing work around the camp as well is very much worth your time, because I've seen my data level go up by just simply dropping off some hay near to the horses. Just simply picking something up and dropping it off at the other side of the camp definitely gives you some rewards as the time goes on. So if you happen to, be on that side of the camp and have to go to the other side, I do encourage you to give it a shot. It definitely will help you along the way, and it will also give you some good karma from your gangmates. Unless you're going for a playthrough where you're being an absolute dick to everyone, that's fine too. It's all up to you. The world will adapt to how you behave. And one very important thing as well is that most of the stuff that you will want to unlock right away is going to be naturally unlocked throughout playing the story. So if you're looking for a certain item, like for example, wanting to use dual-wield revolvers, that's something that you have to unlock as you're playing through the story. So don't be like me and start looking around, town, like, oh, can I buy it yet, or this and that. It's simply going to be stuff that you're going to be unlocking as the story progresses. And if you're looking to have some lunch or some dinner but still want to play the game, you can actually, by just simply enabling the cinematic camera as you place a waypoint on the map as well. What you want to do though is that make sure that your horse is moving, and it will automatically go to that waypoint, and you can just sit back and enjoy the scenery and the beautiful world that is Red Dead Redemption 2. However, this does not include you from the fact that there are some bad guys that probably want to kill you because you look like you have a lot of money. So definitely don't sit back too much, or else you might end up with you being dead and or your horse. And I mean, let's be honest, that's something you would definitely want to avoid. And those are just 7 spoiler-free things that I quickly wanted to mention from my playthrough so far in Red Dead Redemption 2. I've been able to play a couple of hours, and these were just things that I felt were probably a very worthwhile thing to mention before you guys head into this thing as well. And if you have any additional tips to give everyone else, obviously make sure to let us know down in the comment section down below. Do keep everything spoiler-free, please. I know there's a lot of people out there who might even still have to get the game or are still waiting for it. It's definitely one of the biggest games of the year with a lot of people wanting to get it, so having the game spoiled for them is something we definitely want to avoid. But with that said and done, thank you so very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for much more Red Dead Redemption 2 content coming to you very soon, and I'll see you all later.